Have you ever wondered why the ground beneath us sometimes shakes with such ferocity that it can bring down entire buildings? Incredible as it may seem, our seemingly solid Earth is in constant motion. The Earth's crust, that sturdy platform we walk on every day, is made up of colossal pieces known as tectonic plates. These plates are constantly, albeit slowly, shifting and sliding past one another. Sometimes the movements of these plates aren't as smooth as we'd like. You see, when these plates try to slide past each other, they often get stuck at their edges due to friction. Over time, the stress builds up until it's too strong for the rocks to withstand. When the stress finally overcomes this friction, it's released in the form of energy that travels through the Earth, causing the ground to shake, and voila, we have an earthquake. So the Earth's crust isn't as solid and stable as we might think. It's constantly moving, and sometimes this movement results in what we know as an earthquake. Now that we understand what earthquakes are, let's dig a little deeper into the science behind them. You see, earthquakes are essentially a release of energy in the Earth's crust that creates seismic waves. These waves are what cause the ground to shake and tremble, sometimes with disastrous consequences. Picture the Earth's crust as a giant puzzle made up of many pieces called tectonic plates. These plates are constantly moving, albeit very slowly, due to the heat and pressure beneath the Earth's surface. Now, what happens when two of these plates interact? Well, when they collide, pull apart, or slide past each other, they create what we call a fault. And it's along these faults that earthquakes occur. Now, let's talk about seismic waves. These waves are the energy that earthquakes release. They travel through the Earth's interior and across its surface in ripples, much like the ripples that spread out when you throw a stone into a pond. There are two types of seismic waves: body waves that move through the interior of the Earth, and surface waves that travel along the Earth's surface. It's these surface waves that we feel during an earthquake. The strength of an earthquake is measured using the Richter scale, a logarithmic scale that quantifies the amount of energy released. Each whole number increase on the scale represents a 10-fold increase in measured amplitude and roughly 31.6 times more energy release. So an earthquake measuring 5 on the Richter scale releases 31.6 times more energy than a 4. Finally, let's touch on the term epicenter. This is the point on the Earth's surface directly above where the earthquake starts, known as the hypocenter or focus. The closer you are to the epicenter, the stronger the shaking you'll experience. Therefore, earthquakes are not random events, but rather the result of specific geological conditions and processes. They're a fascinating, if not somewhat frightening, reminder of the dynamic planet we live on. Now, let's move on to how we can stay safe when they occur. Being aware of the science behind earthquakes is one thing, but knowing what to do when one strikes is another. When it comes to earthquakes, being prepared can make all the difference. So, let's delve into some practical advice on what to do before, during, and after these powerful natural events. Before an earthquake, it's crucial to have a plan. Identify safe spots in each room of your home, such as under sturdy furniture or against an interior wall far from windows, glass, and heavy items that could fall. Practice drop, cover, and hold on drills with your family so that everyone knows what to do. Remember, during an earthquake, most injuries occur from falling objects and collapsing structures, so knowing where to take cover can save lives. But having a plan isn't enough. It's equally important to have an emergency kit ready. This kit should contain enough water and non-perishable food to last each person in your household for at least 3 days. Also include a flashlight, a battery-powered or hand-cranked radio, extra batteries, a first aid kit, cash, and important documents. When an earthquake does occur, the first thing to do is drop to your hands and knees to prevent being knocked over. Next, cover your head and neck with your arms, and, if possible, take cover under a sturdy piece of furniture or against a wall. Hold on until the shaking stops. After the earthquake, be cautious. Check yourself and others for injuries and provide first aid where necessary. Be aware of potential hazards such as damaged gas lines, downed power lines, and structurally compromised buildings. Listen to the radio or your mobile device for news and instructions from local authorities. Remember, earthquakes can happen at any time without warning. It's not a matter of if, but when, So the more prepared we are, the better we can protect ourselves and our loved ones. Remember, preparedness is our best defense against the destructive power of earthquakes. Earthquakes are not just theoretical events. They have real and often devastating impacts on communities. This statement rings true as we delve into some recent high-profile earthquake incidents from around the globe. In the past few years, we've witnessed the strength and unpredictability of Mother Nature. Let's take a look at a few of these instances. First, the quake that hit the coast of Chile in late 2023. This was a colossal event, registering a magnitude of 8.4 on the Richter scale. The quake caused widespread damage, leveling buildings and homes, leaving thousands displaced. Yet, in the midst of the devastation, the resilience of the Chilean people shone through. Their swift response, coupled with international aid, helped mitigate the aftermath of this natural disaster. Moving on, we journey to the heart of Europe, to Croatia, where a 6.4 magnitude earthquake struck in early 2024. The tremors were felt far and wide, causing extensive damage to the historic city of Petrinja. Despite the destruction, the spirit of unity was palpable, as locals, neighboring countries, and international organizations rallied together in the recovery efforts. Lastly, we journey to the Pacific Ring of Fire, to the Philippines, where a 7.2 magnitude earthquake occurred in the summer of 2024. This powerful quake triggered landslides and tsunamis, resulting in significant loss of life and property. Yet, the nation's disaster preparedness and the international community's prompt response helped alleviate the suffering of those affected. These instances are a stark reminder of the power and unpredictability of earthquakes. They bring to light the reality of the devastation that earthquakes can cause, the urgency of implementing safety measures, and the resilience of humanity in the face of adversity. In the face of such calamities, it is heartening to see the strength of the human spirit, the power of community, and the global solidarity that emerges in the aftermath. These incidents remind us of the immense power of nature and the importance of understanding and preparing for earthquakes. In conclusion, earthquakes are a fascinating yet destructive natural phenomena. They remind us of the raw power of nature and our planet's dynamic inner workings, but they also bring to light the importance of understanding these seismic events. From the Earth's mysterious trembles to the science that underpins these ground-shaking occurrences, it's clear that earthquakes are more than just a random act of nature. They are a result of complex geological processes that have been shaping our planet for billions of years. Moreover, today's discussion underscores the importance of being prepared. Knowing what to do when an earthquake strikes can make a significant difference. It's not just about safeguarding our own lives, but also about protecting our communities.